You have 50 tabs open on your browser. You are watching yet another video about how to optimize your routine, how to build the perfect project, or how to finally start that thing you have been dreaming about for months. You have the right notebooks, you have bookmarked the ultimate tutorials, and you have mapped out the entire roadmap in your head. You are gathering an arsenal of knowledge. It looks a lot like ambition. It feels like you were doing the work. But if you look closely, there's a quiet, uncomfortable truth hiding beneath all this preparation. You haven't actually taken a single step. Why does your brain trick you into feeling so incredibly productive when in reality you are standing completely still? If you constantly find yourself stuck in this endless loop of researching, planning, and consuming information without ever pressing go, you are likely carrying a heavy amount of hidden guilt. You might call yourself lazy. You might think you just lack discipline or that you have a terrible sense of time management. You probably look at other people who just seem to effortlessly execute their ideas and wonder what broken part of you is keeping you frozen on the starting line. But you are not broken. You are not lazy. And this has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to manage your time. What you are experiencing makes complete sense. Your brain is not self-sabotaging. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is protecting you. Think about what happens right before you try to start. You sit down at the blank screen, or you look at the empty canvas, or you open the application form. Instantly, a subtle wave of anxiety washes over you. The task feels too big, too real, too undefined. So what do? You open a new window to read just one more article about the best practices for what you were trying to do. Research by Dr. Timothy Pychyl shows that this kind of procrastination is not a time management flaw at all. It is a problem of emotional regulation. When you are faced with the negative, uncomfortable emotions of starting, the fear, the self-doubt, the frustration of being a beginner, your brain immediately looks for an escape hatch. Researching becomes that escape. It allows you to sidestep the acute pain of uncertainty while still telling yourself that you are working toward your goal. It is a brilliant, silent negotiation your mind makes to keep you comfortable. And it feels good, doesn't it? When you organize your digital workspace or spend 3 hours comparing the exact specifications of the equipment you need, you get a rush. According to cognitive psychology and the work of Dr. Neil Fiore, this is a phenomenon known as pseudo-work. Your brain is essentially hijacking your reward system. Endless planning creates a false dopamine hit of productivity. You get the exact same emotional satisfaction of having accomplished something, but completely without the risk of failure. It is like highlighting a textbook and feeling like a genius without ever having to take the test. Your brain learned early on that this was a clever way to feel capable and in control whenever the actual task in front of you felt too emotionally heavy. But beneath that illusion of productivity lies something much deeper. You wait for the perfect moment. You wait until you know absolutely everything there is to know about a subject, believing that if you can just gather enough data, you will be bulletproof. Psychologists called this a protection response against vulnerability. Dr. Brené Brown famously describes perfectionism not as a tool for excellence, but as a 20-ton shield that we drag around. We think this shield will protect us from judgment, criticism, and pain. When you endlessly research, you're holding up that shield. You're hiding from the vulnerability of being seen trying. Because if you put your messy, imperfect first attempt out into the world, someone might judge it. But as long as you're just gathering inspiration, your fragile early ideas are kept perfectly safe from a harsh, unpredictable world. There is a powerful psychological safety in the identity of the learner. As long as you are the student, the researcher, the planner, you cannot fail. The work of Dr. Carol Dweck on mindset explains that if deep down we believe a failure will define our fundamental worth, we will subconsciously do anything to avoid being tested. The eternal preparation phase is the ultimate safe harbor. If you never actually launch the business, publish the writing, or make the move, then you never have to face the possibility that you might not be good enough. Staying in the research phase preserves your limitless potential. It is a quiet, desperate way of keeping your dreams intact. As long as you haven't truly started, you haven't truly failed. Even your nervous system is in on the act. Late at night, when you are deep diving into forums, reading every single review and mapping out every possible scenario before making a simple choice, your body is actually trying to calm itself down. Clinical psychologist Dr. Alice Boyes explains that this kind of analysis paralysis is deeply rooted in neurobiology. Our brains use information gathering as a soothing behavior. It is a way to lower the intense anxiety that comes with the unknown. By Googling every possible outcome, your brain is just trying to map the territory so you won't step on a landmine in the dark. But here's the part nobody tells you about endless preparation. It doesn't just protect you from failure. Over time, it quietly becomes a substitute for living. When you're younger, this behavior feels practical. You call it due diligence. You call it being thorough. You pride yourself on being the person who looks before they leap. But as you get older, the weight of all those unstarted projects begins to feel different. The life stage shifts, and how your brain interprets this same behavior changes. What used to feel like ambitious planning slowly begins to feel like a cage. You realize that you have spent years studying the map, but you haven't taken a single step on the actual terrain. The behavior evolves. It stops being about getting ready and starts being a comforting, familiar delay. You realize you are trapped in a waiting room of your own design. Yet even in this realization, there is a profound grace to be found. This endless cycle of reading, watching, and preparing is not a fatal flaw in your character. It is an emotional anchor. When your external life feels chaotic, demanding, or entirely out of your hands, opening a new browser window to research the perfect morning routine or the best way to learn a new language gives you back a tiny, immediate sense of control. It is a familiar room where nothing is expected of you and nothing can hurt you. It is a warm blanket of predictability when the rest of the world demands too much. It is your mind's way of saying, let's just stay here for a minute, where it is safe. So the next time you catch yourself falling down a rabbit hole of tutorials or adding another unread book to your towering pile of research, or planning a project for the 10th time without making a move, you do not need to be angry with yourself. You do not need to call yourself lazy. You do not need to force a brutal regime of discipline onto your tired shoulders. Just pause and notice what your brain is doing. It is trying to build a fortress around your hopes. It is trying to ensure you don't get hurt. It is attempting to give you the beautiful, fleeting feeling of progress without the terrifying freefall of actually doing it. There is a profound humanity in wanting to feel completely prepared before you step into the unknown. It is okay that you have needed this shield. It is okay that you have used this waiting room to catch your breath. You were not broken for wanting to feel safe. You were just a person standing on the edge of something that matters to you, trying to find the courage to begin.